Okay, good afternoon. I'm Assistant Sheriff Brett Zimmerman, and today I'm going to brief you on additional details as we know them today about the officer-involved shooting that occurred on December 1st, 2018. This is officer-involved shooting number 22 for the year, fatal number 12, and at the same time last year we were at 21 total officer-involved shootings and 10 were fatal. The date and time and type of call was on December 1st, 2018. At 7:41 a.m., and it was a vehicle stop. Location of the OIS was at 18th Street and Sunrise Avenue, which is located in the downtown area command, and you can see the overhead location from the view up top to the screen to my left. The time of the OIS where shots were fired at approximately 07:45 a.m. Our involved officer is Paul Bruning, spelled B-R-U-N-I-N-G. He's 48 years old, and he's been with LVMPD for 13 years. In this incident, Officer Bruning was armed with a Glock 22 .40 caliber handgun. The investigation revealed he fired 2 rounds. Officer Bruning is assigned to the Tourist Safety Division in the Traffic Bureau. He was wearing his body-worn camera during this incident, and it was activated. Our suspect is a Demontre Boyd. His name and picture are to my left. He's a 43-year-old black male adult, 5'11", 215 pounds. Boyd's weapons were a homemade knife and Officer Bruning's taser. Boyd's vehicle was an unregistered blue Infiniti FX35. Boyd's criminal history: he's a convicted felon for evading a police officer in 2007 California, receiving stolen property in 2007 California, taking vehicle without owner's consent in 2007 California, and carjacking in 2007 California. He has a lengthy arrest record dating back to 2000, which includes the following arrests: under the influence of a controlled substance, 2018 California; carjacking in 2018 California; assault with a firearm, 2011 California; shooting at an inhabited dwelling, 2011 California; burglary, 2011 in California; possession of a stolen vehicle, 2011 in California; felon possession of a firearm in 2006 in California; burglary in 2000 California; and numerous related traffic offenses priors locally. Boyd's charges, had he survived, would be resisting arrest with a deadly weapon and assault with a deadly weapon on a protected person, 2 counts. Details of the OIS. On Saturday, December 1st, 2018 at 7:41 a.m., Officer Bruning conducted a vehicle stop on a blue unlicensed Infiniti SUV that was driving recklessly through the neighborhood near 18th and Sunrise at a high rate of speed and failing to yield to Officer Bruning. The SUV was being driven by Boyd, and no one else was in the vehicle with him. Upon making contact with Boyd, Officer Bruning directed Boyd to turn the vehicle off and exit. Upon exiting the vehicle, Officer Bruning observed an object attached to Boyd's belt and instructed him not to reach for it. Officer Bruning requested an additional officer, and one was dispatched. Boyd ignored Bruning's commands and reached for the object that was attached to his belt. Officer Bruning immediately grabbed Boyd and attempted to place him in custody, but Boyd began fighting. Officer Bruning gave Boyd multiple commands to stop fighting and to get on the ground, but Boyd refused. Officer Bruning deployed his taser, but it was ineffective. Officer Bruning advised dispatch he had deployed his taser over the air and requested a code red at 7:43 a.m. Dispatch initiated the code red on the channel, and multiple units also responded. Officer Bruning continued issuing the verbal commands to stop, but Boyd ignored them. Boyd continued to attack Officer Bruning and gained control of the taser. The fight lasted for approximately 2 minutes. At approximately 7:45 a.m., Officer Bruning deployed his firearm, firing 2 rounds, both which struck Boyd. The first backup officer arrived as the shots were fired, and Boyd was taken into custody. Medical attention was immediately summoned for Boyd, Paramedics transported Boyd to UMC Trauma, where he was pronounced deceased. The investigation conducted by our force investigation team revealed Boyd was in possession of a knife that was inside what appeared to be a homemade makeshift sheath. Boyd stated to Officer Bruning at the time he exited the vehicle that it was a battery pack. There it's pictured to my left on the screen. The knife is the object that was on Boyd's belt that he was reaching for when Officer Bruning at first went hands-on. I will now show you footage from Officer Bruning's body-worn camera. And again, the sound on this will kick in about 30 seconds in because that's how our body-worn cameras operate. And there you see the vehicle traveling at a high rate of speed and Officer Bruning having to catch up to it, driven through those residential neighborhoods down off 18th and Sunrise.
See your hands. Show me your hands. Both of them. Keep them right there. Tom 241, 467.
Tom 241, go ahead.
It's an unregistered blue Infinity SUV occupied one time. We're at Sunrise and 18th. Whose car is this? You always drive it like that? I asked you to shut it off, okay?
No, I was
Shut it off.
I just dropped my little brother off at work.
Shut it off. Step out.
Man.
Charlie 45, I'm code 4, thank you.
Charlie 45.
Come on back here. Yeah, leave all that stuff. Walk back here.
Well, I'm being stopped, sir.
Why are you being stopped? Because you're driving recklessly. So get out of the car and come back here with me.
Reckless.
Come on back here with me.
Can I give you my ID?
No, I want you to keep your hands out of your pockets and do what I'm telling you to do, which is walk back here.
Sir, what I do? Can you tell me my rights?
Tom 241, give me another unit.
Can I give you my ID?
No, I want you to keep your hands out of your pockets and walk back here. Okay?
Tom 241, are you
Walk back here. So far. Walk back here. What's that on your hip?
Charlie 45, you can
Don't touch it. Don't touch it. Don't touch it.
Charlie 45.
What is it?
It's a battery pack.
Don't touch it.
I ain't touching it.
Turn around. Here, turn around. All right.
What are you doing?
I'm gonna arrest you. Get down on the ground.
Right.
Get down on the ground. Let go of me. Don't you fucking do it.
Do what?
Guard, get down on the ground.
Sir.
Taser deployed. Code red. Get your hands out of your pockets. Get down on the ground.
Tom 241, are you code 4?
Negative. Get down on the ground!
Trump. Fucking Trump.
Don't you dare! Dude, I'm gonna shoot you! I'm gonna shoot you!
Big ass.
241 shots fired. Affirm, I need medical for the suspect.
Okay, just some key points from the video that you saw. At one point, of course, the body-worn camera gets adjusted during the fight. It's positioned on the shoulder. But at one point, you know, the officer has engaged in a fight with that suspect. He winds up under his vehicle. The officer, you can see the suspect's legs sticking out. At some point, the officer kind of hears, he knows backup's coming, waiting on backup. And then at that point, after right there at about a 15 to 30 second interval, the suspect gets back out from under that car and says it's on now. Of course, approaching that vehicle at this point, you know, the officer knows that he had a battery pack or something. He said it was a battery pack on his waist. It turned out to be a knife. Unsafe to approach the car there, waiting for his backup. The suspect then charges him again from under the vehicle. So the officer did take steps to try and de-escalate this situation before he had to use deadly force on the suspect. The next video we're showing, this is surveillance video from the residence. This one will be real time. We have it framed, and you can actually see the tail end. This tree right here shades most of it, but you can see the tail end of the officer trying to keep his foot on top of the taser when the suspect is trying to grab for it, but you're able to see put the pieces together from what's missing from the body-worn camera due to the camera being knocked around during the fight. And as you can see in this video too, the suspect was reaching around his waistband where the officer had first noticed that leather sheath or whatever it was, and during the struggle, the taser was disarmed. The officer was disarmed during the struggle as they were fighting over the taser.